So USC, everyone's talking about the quarterback, but their running back core, I mean, it's still USC. They still can run the ball. What do you see out of them?
They got
there?
a great group of running backs. They play a freshman. They got a senior. They've got 3 different guys that they play in there. And the big thing is their offensive line is so athletic that they get on you. And then those backs only need a small crease to hit it and make it happen. And that's the first thing you got to do. You got to be able to make sure you take care of their passing game, but you better be able to tackle their running game.
Their line was a few guys short last week, and they allowed 4 sacks. Was there anything schematically that stuck out at you?
No, not really. I think they'll think that it's just one of those days that they gave up some pressure, be it because of an offensive lineman or a breakdown, or it could have been something where the coverage was there and they had to hold it a long time. So we just got to do our deal.
Sonny said earlier on Sunday that as many people have been talking about the 3-man rush, you guys really only rushed 9 times last week, and that's where you've been getting some of your better defense. How do you quantify?
A lot of it is week to week. We have to change up our stuff. Sometimes it's 4-man, sometimes it's 3-man. Depends on how we match up that week coverage wise and front wise. And that's one of the things that we try to do is go in with a plan and then with the ability to adjust as much as we can.
What I mean is, how do you quantify? Well, the 3-man rush is working better, and here's the numbers that say.
A lot of it is how the matchup is up front with our defensive line versus their offensive line. I know a couple of weeks ago against Washington State, that was the first of the game, and we wound up getting a sack off it. We've had sacks off of that. We've not gotten pressure out of a 4-man rush. So, we've got to be able to mix it up with 3-man, 4-man, and 5-man, depending on who we've got and what our matchups are that day with our front or our rushers versus their protectors.
Now that you have common opponents, obviously Utah and Washington being the 2 foremost, do you look at a little bit of the game film from what they did against you guys?
We try to look at what they're doing and what their system is, but then a lot of it is their players. They do what they do with their players, and we do with what we do with our players.
Clay Helton said earlier this week that there are certainly going to be 2 NFL quarterbacks on the field come Saturday, obviously Jared and Cody. What makes Kessler such a good passer, and does he do things similarly to Jared in the way he moves and manipulates the pocket?
I think the big thing is that Cody knows that system so well. Clay has been there. He's done a heck of a job with it. Cody's played in it, understands their system, knows where to go to the ball and how and when to get it to those guys. And I think that's the biggest thing, that decision-making and arm strength, but the biggest thing is decision-making and accuracy, and he's got that.
When you looked at how Utah reacted to them having Adoree Jackson, and he's been playing mostly defense this week in practice, but having him in an offense, was that like the rat through the snake? Did that kind of warp things a little bit?
I think one of the big things is we have to know where he's at on the field and know what they're doing with him, and yet we've got to be able to play our plan and go from there.
Juju Smith-Schuster, what sticks out to you most about him, their leading receiver last week?
The big thing is he's athletic, and he's a powerful guy. He's not just an athletic guy and a fast guy. He's got so much power.
All right. Excellent.
Thanks, Coach.